Before you pack a single travel outfit, you have to ask yourself these three questions. Hi, I'm Josie. I've been packing carry-on only for over 25 years, and I'm here to show you how you can too. This is my series, How to Pack a Better Carry-On. This is part one of the series, and it's the fundamentals of everything. Start my packing process by answering these three questions, and I call them the three W's. And it's whether, where, and what. First, let's start with weather. What is the weather of the destination that you're visiting? That is the number one thing you need to know. Look this up in advance, months in advance. You can see what the average temperatures are of the places that you're going to visit. And then it's generally good practice a few days before your trip. Check the weather again, confirm that the clothing that you're planning on bringing does indeed align with the weather conditions. For example, sometimes when I'm planning a trip, I'm not necessarily accounting for rain, and then I'll keep checking about a week before I leave, and sometimes that forecast can change. So now all of a sudden rain is predicted. So I have to make sure I have a raincoat or an umbrella or waterproof shoes depending on the type of rain conditions that are expected. The second W is where. Where are you going? Are you going to one place, multiple destinations? And what that involves is being aware of the cultural climate of the places that you're visiting. For instance, what I'm going to pack for Thailand is not what I'm going to pack for Paris. I feel like different destinations require different types of clothing, different vibes. Give consideration to the places that you're visiting. For example, if I was going to some place like Morocco, I would definitely be aware of what my clothing looks like. I would lean more modest in that type of environment. So it's important to research and do a little digging to know what is appropriate for the places that you're visiting. And the third W is what. What are you going to be doing? This is also going to guide every clothing choice. Are you going to be hiking? Is there a beach involved? What is on your itinerary? And you don't have to have a day-by-day breakdown of your itinerary. In those cases, I go by what I call contexts, if I can say it right, context. So with different contexts, what is the context? Sightseeing, going on a food tour, taking a cooking class, going to a winery, just kind of the general idea of what are the types of things that you're going to be doing. Are you going to go on a walking tour? That means you need to have comfortable shoes. Going to nice dinners, all those things you need to take into consideration. These three factors is they guide every clothing choice that you're going to make. You're like me, when you start your packing process, I literally throw everything on my bed that I want to take with me. And then from there, all these answers to these questions written down. So that's kind of like my anchor. And I'm just really honest with myself and what the trip is and what it requires, and calling that, pile of clothes that I start with. And so that's an easy way for me to eliminate half of the clothing options that I'm considering. And then once you've narrowed down your clothing options, you drill down even further with some of the other strategies that I'm going to give you in future lessons. When you pack with these three things in mind, what you're doing is actually fighting that urge to overpack, because you know that everything that you are packing is going to serve a purpose, and anything that does not fit within those parameters does not make it in. And I know these tips sound like absolute common sense, and that's because they are, but what I really find helpful is writing down the answers to these questions. If you head on over to my Substack, you can grab a quick little worksheet that allows you to write all these details down in one place that you can use to guide your packing decisions for your travel capsule.